Hi everyone, I'm Eve. Welcome back to my channel where I document everything that brings me joy in my life. Before we begin, the Eve Strategy channel is getting lots of views and I'm so grateful. But folks are forgetting to subscribe. So if you are watching the channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button so you can continue to follow along on all my adventures as I document my life. I can't wait to look back at videos and see my growth and of course know that you were there along the journey with me. So let's head back to the video. So I want to talk about research today, something that I absolutely enjoy, specifically UX research. I'm a UX researcher, and what I want to do is talk about UX deliverables and how to deliver effective UX deliverables. And everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to come from 3 or 4 questions. So I'm going to share those 3 or 4 questions with you. Feel free to write them down or just listen to the video over and over again, whatever you want. And I'll just say that I'm in a place right now where I want to document my learnings in UX research, but I also want to like unlearn to learn again. So I actually, as the researcher that I am, or just a curious person that I am, decided to talk to UX researchers from all around the world about UX deliverables. And it was so fun. So everything that you're getting today in this video is just a compilation of my experiences and their experiences together. So the questions that I'm going to be answering today are: what are UX deliverables? Why do we need deliverables as UX researchers? What are deliverables in UX research? Like what are they? Like give me the names of them. And how do you improve the quality of your UX deliverables? And how do you go about communicating your deliverables effectively? So before I begin, I do want to give a shout out to all the people that I spoke with. So Lena, thank you so much. Lena from India, Margaret based in the US, Theo from Brazil, Jeremy from Spain, Savannah in Norway, Mandeep based in France, Manuela based in Brazil. Okay. They rode in deep, okay, to help a girl. Just unlearn to learn again. And I learned so many different things, which I'm so appreciative of. So let's go ahead and get started. So, first things first, what are UX deliverables? How I like to think of it, I like to think that UX deliverables are the clues collected to solve your mystery. You are Velma from Scooby Doo, or I'm Velma from Scooby Doo. UX deliverables are tangible records or record of the work that you've completed over the course of a research or design workflow. And they're used to synthesize, communicate, and convince the next step. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Synthesize, communicate, and convince. That's what UX deliverables provide. Okay. Why do we as UX researchers need deliverables? Well, to communicate design ideas, research findings, and the context of the projects that we're working on to a range of audiences. I'm talking about PMs, project managers, POs, product owners, developers, engineers, third party clients, anyone that is in the internal management of the company that we're working with, to external partners. You want your deliverables to be able to communicate across all audiences. And again, what it does is that it helps you to document your work so that you can go back to it. People can go back to it, repeat it if need be, but then also provide artifacts for meetings like ideation sessions, right? So, what are the UX deliverables? So, I found a site where a UX researcher, on the title of it, it said, "Oh, there's 28 UX research deliverables," and then she like literally crossed it out and was like, "There's actually 50." And I'm gonna put the link of this article in the description box. So head over to it so you could see it if you'd like, and maybe for myself to challenge myself. If you'd like for me to go through each of the deliverables and find like a real world example for us to go through, let's do it. I accept the challenge. Let me know if you'd be interested in that in the comments below. Some of the research deliverables that she has that you can include in your workflow are accessibility audit, activity system map, content audit, customer experience ecosystem, customer experience scorecard, design tenant, mind map, scenario map, service blueprint, touch point map, usability study log. So a lot of these I'm very much so familiar with. Some of them I'm like, I could use a refresher on. So I'll definitely share that with you. 50 for UX research deliverables, y'all. Mm-hmm. What are my top three favorite deliverables? I love competitive analysis reports. I just love being able to understand market landscape. But of course, competitive analysis report, you want to identify your competitors, evaluate what are their strategies, what are their strengths and weaknesses for their product, service, or experience that they're providing to their users, right? And you want to basically provide insights into the features, the functions, the flows, the feelings evoked by the design solutions that they've created. And by understanding that, you can strategically inform your design solution, right? To level it up, right? I love affinity maps. That's my number two. Affinity maps are all about extracting insights again and noticing themes to better understand users and their needs, or to define product requirements, or to plan for future product features. It's very useful in the strategic phases of a design cycle, such as the empathize and ideate stages. And last but not least, I really love the impact effort map or matrix. I think map or matrix, impact effort map or matrix. I think it's interchangeable. And what I love about it is that it's a design making tool that is used to prioritize feature ideas or performance ideas or growth ideas. And it's a coordinate plane, and it has these four quadrants. And what it helps you do is to organize possible solutions. For example, let's go back and say, remember that competitive analysis that I was talking about? So you do your competitive analysis, you have an idea of what's going on in the market, right? You then decide for your user research, you decide that the best method to use would be user interviews. You conduct your user interviews, you have your transcripts, you pull your transcripts, that is your data. Okay. And you take that data and you do some analysis and synthesis, and you pull themes and share the insights that come from those themes with your team. So here you are with your user research and your market research, and then you come together with your team and all stakeholders to begin brainstorming potential solutions that you can have for your product. Here your team is with a big brain dump of all these solutions, and now everybody's like, so how do we figure out what to do first? You basically could use the impact effort map slash matrix to do so, because again, it's a decision making tool to prioritize your solution. So in the quadrants, there is a space where you talk about where to focus on. So those are your quick wins. That's where you would place solutions that have the highest impact but least amount of effort. That quadrant where you focus on is the one where you move forward to basically begin developing and delivering a prototype, right? So, and then for the other quadrants, you basically either do research, you follow up, or you just basically say, no way am I going to do this. So I love impact maps. So definitely check it out. And now pivoting to how do we improve the quality of your deliverables? I just want to say, as a caveat, improving the quality of your deliverables depends on several things. One, how is research stood up in your organization? Are you a team of 1, 5, 10, 50, 100? What is the appetite for basically innovation or research innovation in your company? Is your company passive, active, reactive, proactive? That all speaks to the level of risk that your company would like to take in regards to these design solutions, right? So I would say, with that being said, what I share about how to improve the quality of your deliverables, make sure you keep that in mind. So no matter what, to improve the quality of your deliverables is basically improving the quality of your persuasiveness. Mm-hmm. Again, your persuasiveness to take data and synthesize it, to be able to communicate it, to be able to convince people of what they need to do next. UX deliverables should communicate insights and strategic direction, right? I always say that UX research, you're like 1/3 product manager, 1/3 like marketing slash comms, and 1/3 research. Okay, we wear multiple hats. It would behoove us that whenever we're providing insights, that we also share a point of view, not an opinion, but a point of view based on our findings, right? That move the company forward to where they need to go, help them understand what their next best step is. So insights provide opportunities and solutions for uniqueness with your product, service, or experience. And strategic direction are those solutions mapped with risk attached. Now, of course, you need to understand how your company wants to go about the risk, what risk levels they want to take when it comes to their design solution. So you're not tone deaf when you're delivering your deliverables to your stakeholders. So that's one thing. Second, UX deliverables are just truly based on time, budget, and effort. Again, depending upon the organization that you're in, how many people are on your team, and all those things. But what's important in that being said is why, because UX deliverables are based on time, budget, and effort, there's always a lot of talk around lean research, lean UX. Now, when it comes to agile methodologies in research, sometimes it ends up feeling very contradictory to people because research in its quote unquote purest form is something that people usually associate with as long term, repeatable, and scalable. But many times in UX researchers, we're doing the quick and dirty research methods, right? Which has people think more of like, okay, well, how do we be lean in our UX research so we can deliver actionable insights for the team, for our stakeholders? I would just say there is no right way to be agile in research, but then to also at the same time understand there are things in agile that just doesn't work for research, and just make sure people are very clear in that so that people are working from the same context. Say for instance, for example, in agile, it talks a lot about less documentation, but in research, you need to document your work because what you document is your UX deliverables. So with that, you could just take that with a grain of salt. Many organizations that I know and what I heard in my interviews, they'll have a UX team, and they can have a UX team that can conduct those long-term studies or make sure to put a pin on going back to studies and like repeating them to ensure their validity of their products and the work that they're doing. And other organizations can stand up a rapid research team, which it's very much so agile. So those are things that you can consider when thinking about how to improve the quality of your deliverables, is how to balance, you know, or how to engage agile in research, because it would inform what deliverables that you make, right? Because based on that time, budget, and effort. Next, the one that I love so much, if you want to improve the quality of your deliverables, you must focus on delivering an amazing kickoff session. Okay, so in the kickoff meeting, you are getting a bunch of stakeholders in the room, right? Making sure you have the right people in the room. And in this meeting, you want to understand the problem that is trying to be solved and what data is needed to solve it. Your goal as a researcher by the end of it is to make sure that you understand the goal of what do we want to know? What is it that we want to learn, right? That has to be very, very clear. Why? Because you will leave and go ahead and make your draft research plan, right? With the goal and the hypothesis that you want to experiment on. And with that experiment, you then have your research methods that you will use to basically, test that hypothesis and get the findings that you need, get the data that you need, that you will synthesize, that you will communicate, and then be able to convince people of what their next steps are. So when it comes to developing or improving the quality of your deliverables, make sure that you are very clear in that kickoff meeting. What is it exactly that we want to learn based on the problem that you came to me with? Starts from the basics, from the foundation. Next, one researcher said people should not be surprised by your deliverables. Why? Because you should technically be including your cross-functional stakeholders throughout your research process. Figure out ways to include them. Say, for instance, remember when I was mentioning that kickoff meeting and then you go to create your draft research plan? Well, you can come back with that draft research plan and get all stakeholders back in the room to confirm that everything is making sense, because you'll share with them, here are the methods that I'm proposing to solve, to basically test out this hypothesis. Here are the deliverables that I'll produce to share with you what exactly did we learn and what strategic direction that we should take. So include stakeholders in it. They're not surprised with the deliverables that you produce. Or people that I interviewed shared, you can have stakeholders. You can volunteer them, or you can ask them to come to come to your, say for instance, your user interview meeting and take notes. Maybe ask a few questions to users. I had a few people that I interviewed said that there's some stakeholders who never ever talk to users, to clients, to customers, which at this day and age really does baffle me. It don't make no sense. Please, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in your company, please talk to the people that you're serving. I'll leave it at that. You could also include stakeholders when, say, for instance, you're done with the usability test or user interview. You can include them in the analysis and synthesis, right? So people shouldn't be surprised by your deliverables, but when you get ready to present like your findings, and you are again including that strategic direction, knocked them out of the park with that point of view. Now let's pivot into communicating the deliverables, right? One researcher said, share often and share fast. She, at the end of every day, shares basically a research snapshot to help people have a sense of what's going on with the data that she found, insights that she got from it and everything like that, so that if tomorrow they need to pivot, people are informed with the latest information at that time, which I thought was really cool. So again, depending upon your organization, it may not be every day, but deliver a cadence on how you communicate, right? Research snapshots can be done again through slides, videos, email, and the goal with them is that whatever you decide how you go about communicating your deliverables, make sure it matches the mode of communication that your stakeholders use the most, so that you stay top of mind and that you ensure that they see, what you're sharing. An idea for emails in particular, if you want to go ahead and share something in an email or maybe through a Slack channel, make sure that it takes you 15 minutes to write and 5 minutes for folks to read. And if you're like, okay, Eva, what am I supposed to share in this? An example that I heard from a researcher is you share the finding, which is the what, you share the so what, which is why should we care, and then you share the now what, like what is the action to think about because of what you shared with me, how should my team move forward, or what should we consider, right? Which I thought was really amazing. You can also make sure to join asyncs, team daily stand-ups with your different stakeholders. Join various ones so that you can continue to have a listening for like what's going on and what they're looking for, to ensure that you're on the mark with what you're researching, to make sure that you provide quality deliverables. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it. Those are all my notes from the amazing researchers that I took time to speak with. Please let me know, share your thoughts in the comments below. This was so much fun. I love doing this. Share with me some other topics that you would want me to maybe deep dive into. And make sure you do one thing to cultivate your joy today. And I'll see you all later. Bye.